What's up guys, and welcome back to another episode of the RTG career mode. It's episode number 9, it's the start of season 2. The Swans are back in the big time for the first time since the end of the 2018 season, and our transfer budget in the end is 39 mil, which to be fair is about what I was expecting, somewhere in the region of 35 to 40, so it's the high end of that, but 39 mil is the budget we're working with for our first season back in the top tier. But our team is shocking, man. Yeah, don't get me wrong, pleased to be here, but no doubt about it, we're the weakest side in the division. We've lost our loan players that were really good for us last year, including Jamal Lowe, who was my player of the year, Bashir Humphreys in the backline, and as we know, Ben Cabango has decided to leave us and go to the Eredivisie. He's off to Ajax. They're always there with you on the first day of the season, but after your first advance, they'll leave. So yeah, Cabango, he's going to go in one day, and he's off to Ajax. And it's a team with very little quality in depth. It's youngish, I suppose. Obviously, Joanne and Yannick Bolasie have both gone. We saw the retirement of Kyle Norton, but there's not a great deal of quality to it. So we need to spend our pennies wisely in this summer window and make sure we get the team we're looking for. However, to be fair, with Ogbeta going to Levante on a free, but most notably Fischer going to Midtjylland and Ben Cabango still going to Ajax for 5.25 mil, it does see our budget rise slightly to 44.1 mil. Now those free deals have gone through. Obviously, the Ogbeta deals are free, but Cabango's deal was what was worth most of this. 44 mil in the Premier League, it's not disastrous, but obviously it's not a lot. And of course, when you take into consideration the fact that Cabango was one of our best players last season, I'd much rather have him than the 5 mil, if I'm being honest here. And of course, don't forget, we've lost 3 of our most important players as their loan deals expired. Jamal Lowe, who was my player of the year last season, is gone. Bashir Humphreys has gone back to Chelsea, and Carl Rushworth has gone back to Brighton. So when you look at the team here, I mean, let's be honest, this team, you would probably not be against saying it's got a chance of equaling that record low points tally that Derby County set back in the 2008 season, I think it was. So yeah, it's a team with very little depth. It's a team with very little quality in depth. It's a team with very little quality. We're probably going to be restricted most to bargain buys in the first season. We do need to get to work straight away. So with that being the case, obviously I asked you guys for transfer suggestions in the last episode. I appreciate that very, very much. But the most requested player I've seen since the Sabres began is this guy right here, a homecoming for Joe Rodden. And considering the fact that Ben Cabango has just now left us and gone to Ajax, this deal to me makes perfect sense. Out on loan at Leeds last year, but now back in North London with Spurs. He's never really made the jump up to top tier, top level football. And in the final year of his contract at Spurs, our homecoming is definitely on the cards. No, we can get him on a cut price deal. It makes perfect sense. We're bringing Joe back. So I personally believe we should be able to get him for, again, slightly under the market valuation, not by much. I'm going to go with a £6 million deal. That's a mil over his current market valuation. And yep, Spurs say yes. Damn it. It's one of those moments where you're like, I wish it kind of didn't work out like that, because now I know I could have got him cheaper. Still, I'm not going to say to Joe Rodden on a cut price deal because it's 76 overall. That makes him our highest rated player already coming back. And I've got to say, 26 years old on a cut price deal and deciding to take a pay cut for us as well. Doing what's good for the team. Joe Rodden, welcome back to South Wales as the man in to replace Ben Cabango and I guess as well Bashir Humphreys for now as well. So yeah, Rodden, of course, leaving Swansea to go and join Spurs. Never really worked out. A couple of loan spells at Stade Rennais, and obviously now currently playing for Leeds as well, out on loan. But that contract coming the end of the season, I couldn't see him making the cut there at Spurs. But to come back here to a newly promoted side, where he's loved, academy graduate, this makes total sense. Joe Rodden, welcome back to the Swansea.com stadium. So yeah, he's still getting a little bit better as well, despite the fact he's 26 years old. You know, it's mid-20s, so he's still getting a little bit better. Slightly concerned by the low acceleration, but he's comfortable enough on the ball. He's got some okay base defensive stats, and he's 6'4" as well, which means that it'll be really, really good from corners and set pieces, which again, to us this season in the Premier League, that might be where we get quite a few of our goals from, because from open play with our poor attack against strong Premier League defences, yeah, we might be quite reliant on goals from set pieces this year. I can see us becoming a bit of like a weird Stoke and Brighton hybrid. Do you know what I mean? Like, reliant on set pieces and physical play, but also having some good young talents in there as well. Right, so that puts our budget down to what now? £36 million. Okay, so this was it. How has it gone down to 36 mil? I spent 6, not 8. Oh, I suppose the salary. Good point. So yeah, so down to 36 mil now. Oh man, I definitely do feel as though, like, for me, I want Jamalo back. I mean, Jamal was my player of the season last year, and I get it. I understand. He's now 29 years old. He's no spring chicken, but he's a freebie. Bournemouth decided to let him go. Oh, Jamal, come back home, mate. Come back to me. Always believe in your soul. You've got the power to know you're indestructible. Always believe in Jamal Lowe. Yes, buzzing with this, man. I said I was going to bring him back because last season, my top player, my second highest scorer, and whilst he's not getting any better at 29 years old, 70 overall means he's still got enough quality. He's got good pace, good agility, and we know he can chuck this guy up top if need be, but I still do believe he's best for us on that left-hand side. I said I was going to bring him back regardless. In the end, I don't even need to pay a transfer fee. Lucky Doxy boy. We'll have that. Jamal Lowe back at Swansea, buzzing. So I found a few players on the free agents pool, including free goalkeepers. I do quite like the idea of Owen Carriers, to be fair, really, trying to resurrect his career. In the twilight, if you will. VR as well from Spain has some good stats based on these ranges here. And he's also got the cross-claimer play style as well. And Sergio Rico, if you want a bit of experience, the 30-year-old. Is he only 30? My goodness, he's older than that. Coming back as well. And then there's Sergio Roberto. I don't know about that one though, man. I've getting released from Barcelona. Would he come to us? Maybe, maybe not. Josh Brown definitely would though. Hopefully no one picks him up. And he's got the long throw trait as well. I might just gamble. I don't know how much he'd be worth with that stat. He'd fit us like a glove. I'm going to gamble on Josh. It's got to be over 20 grand a week. I'm probably thinking more like 25 grand a week. We'll start off in the middle, 22 grand a week for Brownhill. And see what they say to that. Okay, yeah, it's about that, to be fair. 22.5 grand a week, plus 2 big bonuses. We'll take them both out. And in the end, she's going to ask me to go to 25, which I'll say, fair enough. He'll be mid-70s overall, I'd say then, but based on the crucial squad role and that salary as well. We'll see what he's worth right now. And there we go, Josh Brownhill, 76 overall in on a 3-year deal. To be fair, on 25 grand a week, that's not too bad for a Premier League starter in this Swansea team in the 24-25 season. He's better than the captain, he's better than Jay Fulton, he's younger than both, and to come in as our new CM, he's really versatile. But I was taking the number 7, I've taken it off him, he's now going to wear number 15, because that's what alpha males wear, as we know. And I do see this guy possibly being retrained to right back. He's got the long throw-in traits, I love that. 89 down, he's not slow per se, and he's incredibly versatile as well. This is a really, really solid pickup with a medium-high work rate. I think to begin with, I will have him as our CM this season, but again, I could see him possibly transitioning to, if not right back officially, then maybe right wing back. He's got the stats to play there, no doubt about it. Yeah, I would personally say, Fulton and Grimes were a good duo last season, so I'm not actually against that, just playing him right back and dropping Key to the bench. No, I think we would have him starting in a normal CDM role to begin with. But okay, all right. So, three new signings coming in, and teams starting to get slightly better. Not much better, but slightly better. We got a bid for Nathan Wood from the Blades, but of course back from his loan spell from Rangers, and right now we need him. So sorry, Chris, but he's going to be staying with us. Again, the problem is we don't really have anyone we could sell to raise much money. I have said with Jerry Yates, I'm not against selling him if a bid comes in, but I'm also not on a transfer list in mind. But he wasn't that bad for me last year. He was okay. He was all right. Even though I did prefer Liam Cullen up top, Jerry was still all right. And of course, he scored what was the winner in that playoff semi against Watford as well. So if a bid comes in naturally, I'll sell. Otherwise, I'll keep him. But again, guys, any transfer suggestions, do let me know in the comment section down below, because absolutely not. Do let me know in the comment section down below, because we still got quite a bit of money to work with, but honestly, man, like I I really don't know what we should be doing here. Like, should we blow it up and just bring in like one massive superstar, or well, one really good player for 34 mil? Do you forget what year it is, Doxy boy? You can't sign a superstar 34 mil. One really good player for 34 mil, or do we make our spending a lot more even, a lot more balanced? Any transfer suggestions whatsoever? Do keep them coming in the comment section down below. I need your help here. We do have a bid for our right back Key as well from the Borough. 68 overall, 24 years old, Josh. To be fair, he was alright for us last season. He was okay, so I'm going to keep him here and continue having him as our starting right back for now. How good is Karius? So I'm not against bringing him in, because I have seen that both Rico and VR have decided to go elsewhere. That's one of the problems with free agents, man. Whilst you're waiting for their full overall and attributes to be unmasked, they often go to different clubs. But Karius, I'm not against bringing him in, I'm really not. I mean, 72 overall, it's not great, but he'd do a job, What we could do is bring back Carl, because obviously he's not going to get played Brighton, and at 23 years old, he needs game time here. What we could do is sign him back on a permanent deal, and then sign Carriers as like a mentor for him as a vet, because right now, We've only got the two young goalkeepers who, to be fair, Broom is never going to make it, and I want to loan Hermainen out because he's not going to start in this team at 65 overall, and he needs game time. So I'm going to add Hermainen into the loan list, but also bring back Carl on a permanent deal. Not getting game time at Brighton. We're going to say last year you were integral to us going up, including pulling off the heroics in the playoff final shootout. Carl, it's time to come back. And I don't think we'll have to spend much more than market valuation either. So if we go 5.25 mil with Roberto De Zerbi, and they say no, but when you look at the tension there in the top right, and often say it's when the tension bar barely fills up, you've got such a long time to work with the manager you're negotiating with. So with that being the case, we can just continue to be very, very low with our offers and put them up incrementally. Yes, De Zerbi wants 5.8 mil, but again, the tension bar is not filling up by much. So again, it comes down a little bit further. We can continue to negotiate even more. We'll go 5.4 mil, and I think this time it will do it, and it does indeed. 5.4 mil for a really good young goalkeeper. Carl, it's time to come back to Swansea, this time on a permanent deal. When we went 2-0 down on the spot kicks in the playoff final, it looked as though we were definitely going to be remaining in the second tier. But after Rushworth made a big save to keep us in the shootout, he then made the save that allowed AK-47 to win it for us in sudden death. Carl last year was one of our better players in the second tier, and whilst it's a big step up to top tier football, I believe in the young man. At just 23 years old, back on a 5-year deal. Carl Rushworth, welcome back to South Wales. And still getting better, of course, in his early 20s. Goalkeepers don't tend to peak until later in their career, so we've got him for all his prime and his pre-prime, if you will. So yeah, buzzing with this one here. He's got really good balanced stats in the GK area all across the board as well. So with that being the case, I'll keep him on balance as Carl is back. Really, really pleased with that signing. Okay, here we go. So we're doing all right on limited funds, to be fair. I'm pretty pleased with how we're getting on so far. Nathan Brewer might just keep as our third choice goalkeeper, man, because again, Hermainen, I'm going to add him to the loan list now because he's a good young goalkeeper, but he's going to need game time. And right now at 65 overall, I would not trust him to start in the Premier League whatsoever. So he's still got the exciting prospect tag, but he needs that game time, no doubt about that. So let's bring in Karius then. He'll be the backup, and we could possibly sell Nathan Broom or just keep him as a third choice. But let's bring Karius in as a backup and a mentor. I can't help but feel a bit bad for what happened to Loris Karius. I mean, we all know now that he was concussed in that Champions League final and clearly should have been out there. And of course, that injury led to those two mistakes, which ultimately cost Liverpool the Champions League final. Unfortunately, since then, he's never really been able to resurrect his career. He's been out on loan, he's now at Newcastle as a backup, but he's never really been able to get his confidence back. Here at Swansea, hopefully, accepting a mentorship role, he'll be able to do that. Because he's here in South Wales on a 2-year deal. Very low wage, to be fair, as well, for a player that still does have some ability as well. And whilst I won't be starting him ahead of Rushworth, I definitely do see this guy as our cup goalkeeper and our senior mentor for the young shot stopper in Carl as well. So our budget now down to £26 million. Don't forget, we'll get a little bit of money, just a little bit, for when the season ticket money comes in. But for now, still not much to work with, but still enough still enough to do a few things here and there. I'm liking how the team's shaping up, man. Put in a tough position here with a lack of money and a lack of quality already. I'm liking this. Brownhill, Rodden, Rushworth and Lowe all coming into the first 11 and Karius on the bench as well. Yeah, any transfer suggestions again, guys? Do keep them coming in because I still do need your help. But for now, I'm liking how this is looking. There's still a while to go as well. And the baggies want to take Hermione on loan. I like that. I want to get rid of that loan to buy offer, but him dropping down to the second tier, a couple of years at the Hawthorns, that would be great for Tapio. Oh, and that's an interesting bid there. Now, I did say if a bid came for Jerry Yates, I wouldn't be against selling him, but it's quite a small offer from Getafe. They've tried to resurrect Mason Greenwood's career. Now they want to try and resurrect Jerry Yates' career. The bid to me just isn't worth it though. Like 72 overall, I get more out of keeping him than having the money coming in. I'm gonna wait for a different sort of offer. For me, no. I think for now Yates is worth a bit more than that. And if I was to sell him, I'd probably prefer to try and keep him in England anyway. Okay, so Helmartinen's loan deal, that's gonna go through 2 years to the Hawthorns. That's gonna do us some real good there. Going out on loan to the Baggies for a couple of years in the Championship, we'll take that. And I might try and make one more signing and leave it there for the episode openers. I want to leave you guys with enough time to recommend more transfer targets to come in. So there we go. Tapio is off to the Hawthorns for a couple of years. And again, that's exactly what we need for this guy right now. Staying within the English Football League so we can keep a close eye on him. But also where he'll be first choice, I would imagine, ahead of Alex Palmer at the Baggies. And starting there in the second tier. So yeah, he's been given a number 1 jersey as well. So yeah, buzzing with that loan spell there. Don't need him now, of course, for this season. So what we got in the budget again? 26 mil. Well, I want to send my scouts out as well. First of the month, I want to send my scouts out here. We'll quickly do an academy update, and then I'm going to send my scouts out. And we might leave it at that as well. When we send them out for the Docks Youth Scouting. Oh man, Alvarez has gone down already for potential. Same with Leo, so it's a shame that. Considering the fact we've already got 2 good Finnish goalkeepers, I'm okay letting him go. But right now, I've got to say, this guy looks so exciting. Charlie Connick, perhaps the next Gareth Bale. Now, he's CM, 56 overall. But again, I said this before, you look at the stats there, and you see he could probably be much better, more effective playing third forward. To me, I would say being left-footed as well. Oh, I definitely see this guy as the new Gareth Bale. I'm going to convert him to right wing, inside full with that left foot. I think we've got the next Gareth Bale here in our academy. And so we shall send our youth scouts out today as well. And guys, I want to say once again, thank you so much for all the comments. Obviously, I asked you guys with the hashtag DocsYouthScouting where we send our scouts every single season. I really appreciate the comments I get, man, as you're my chief scouts, if you will, and I go where you say. However, we always do keep one homegrown within the nation. We'll do the same once again, but this is my choice. We'll be keeping him in Wales. He's the lowest rated scout of the 3. And let's look for a type from Wales as well. Actually, no, let's not. I always say this, but like I always leave it on any, just because to me that's where I get my best results, through a range and the biggest net being cast possible, as opposed to being so precise. Keep the range at any. 9 months in Wales. And guys, once again, I want to say thank you for all the comments, man. And I appreciate it when you guys give me like a reason as to why we should scout that nation and not just the country themselves. So thank you so much for all the comments, man. It was class reading through them. Loads and loads of great suggestions for loads of different nations. But the one nation I saw recommended more than any other was the United States of America. Got some great comments on this country, and this one in particular from Jack Magnan that said a few seasons back, Swansea brought in 2 Americans, Jordan Morris and Paul Ariola, on loan, and they both suffered season-ending injuries within a month. Could try to resurrect Swansea's failed American experiment and appease their American ownership by scouting the USA. So there's a couple of reasons why he's given me there for scouting America. They both make a lot of sense, and why I know Swansea fans would not want the next Bradley coming back, Bob Bradley. Hopefully some better younger American youth talents going through the academy will keep the Swans fans happy. America, our next country. I did feel a bit sorry for Bradley, to be fair, during his time. He was criticised for things that are so trivial, do you know what I mean? But even so, hopefully he'll get more success from America this time. But for the last nation, I saw a lot of suggestions from Africa, and to be fair, one nation came up more than any other, and I can understand why, because Swans fans had a forward for a few years who was a star there, and his name, Wilfred Bonney. He moved on to Man City. He did come back, but he was never the same player when he came back. But Wilfred Bonny was class, man, in his prime, and I got quite a few suggestions for the Ivory Coast to try and find the next Wilfred Bonny. I really, really like that suggestion. We tried Spain with Michu and Angel Rangel and Pablo Hernandez, so why not now Ivory Coast, looking for the next Wilfred Bonny. That will be our third nation we'll be scouting this year. So guys, once again, thank you so much for all the comments, man. I really, really appreciate it, man. Brilliant suggestions as always. And again, if I didn't choose your country this time, don't worry, because I'm still going to be coming to you guys every single season. But once again, thank you for all the great comments. And I think I'm going to make one more signing and leave it there for today. And I still have one of my free agent targets available, and I don't know anything about him. French football fans, if you could give me a backstory on this guy, I'd appreciate it. But Vincent Marchetti, released from someone, and to be fair, it looks alright. Very well balanced all across the board. Very versatile. That's what we're looking here for Swansea with this small squad. 73 overall, 27 years old, in his prime. Could definitely see him playing left back as well. I'm going to snap him up, why not? A 5-year deal on very low wages, and I have to say, I'm really pleased to pick up here on a free transfer. Welcome to Swansea.com Stadium. Released from Ajaccio, just looked it up. Vincent Marchetti coming in to South Wales. And again, 27 years old, in the prime of his career. Okay, it might not get much better, but certainly not going to get worse for a while. On very low wages, I've got to say, I'm quite happy with this pickup. He took number 7 originally, but again, I still want like a class winger, man. So, no, taking that off him and giving him number 9. And again, to be fair, I think this guy possibly could be turned into a left back and maybe start in this Premier League team here ahead of Josh Tymon. For now, though, we'll keep him on CDM. But I'll do it for today's episode, guys. So big thank you for watching the season opener. If you have enjoyed it, then please do drop a like. We're cutting it short because I want your transfer suggestions, guys, man. I really, really need your help. We still got a month to go for the window slam shut. 25 million in the budget. We might get an extra couple of mil when the season ticket money comes in, but not a lot to work with. I need your help in the transfer suggestions, guys. Please do leave me a comment. What should we be doing with this money? Where should we be investing? Who should we be signing? Have a fantastic day, guys. Much love to you all, and I'll see you for the next episode of the RTG career mode, where we'll begin our Premier League campaign with Swansea and need to still make a few more signs as well very soon.